Top 20 Athletic Director Interview Questions and Answers. Welcome to our channel. So before we get started, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel to join our family. Preparation for your athletic director interview can be easy if you go through these questions and answers. They will give you a general picture of what to expect and how to respond to each question. The main aim is to sharpen your skills and impart you with the knowledge necessary to ace your interview. Number 1. Define a good athletic director. The interviewer wants to know your definition of a competent athletic director. Tip number 1, explain the outstanding qualities of a good athletic director. Tip number 2, be eloquent and confident. Sample answer, an excellent athletic director should possess excellent leadership skills, motivate his team members to work toward their success, challenge the members to excel, and be in a position to solve disputes that may arise. Number 2. What do you envision for our athletic program, if you were hired? The interviewer wants to know your goals and how you will attain them. Tip number 1, demonstrate how you will accomplish your visions in the organization. Tip number 2, show that you have more significant goals. Sample answer, I am determined and passionate about sports. My vision is to succeed in whatever my team engages in and be recognized globally as the best team. I engage all my skills to achieve this goal. I ensure all the rules and regulations are adhered to, and the cooperation from my team members is intact. Number 3. What motivates you as an athletic director? The interviewer wants to know what inspires you in your career as an athletic director. Tip number 1, share your primary drives to be an athletic director. Tip number 2, be confident and eloquent. Sample answer, I love sports, and my passion keeps me rejuvenated and in the mood to keep going despite the challenges. I enjoy helping the upcoming athletes to pursue their passion and be successful. My main aim is to grow talents and work with the community to make it a better place than the way I found it. Number 4. What brings you most joy, as an athletic director? The interviewer wants to know what you enjoy in the field of being an athletic director. Tip number 1, highlight the areas that excite you and make you happy. Tip number 2, demonstrate how this keeps the whole team replenished. Sample answer, I enjoy working closely with the coaches and motivating them to do excellent work. Seeing them working in peace with one another and following all the rules and regulations that govern them inspires me a lot. I always train the members to be self-driven and determined, leading to the success of the team. Number 5. Take us through your journey to the position of an athletic director. The interviewer intends to know the steps you follow to reach an athletic director position. Tips number 1, explain the necessary steps you took until you acquired the position. Tip number 2, talk about the relevant steps. Sample answer, my journey started as an athlete. I was among the best athletes in my community, and various teams would hire me to represent them, which I did excellently. After that, Team ABC saw my potential and hired me to be their coach. I performed the role to the best of my ability. Lastly, I was promoted to be the director of Team XYZ, my current workplace. I have been an athletic director for over 7 years now. Number 6. What are the main duties of a person working as an athletic director? The interviewer wants to know how conversant you are with the roles played by an athletic director. Tip number 1, highlight the functions performed by an athletic director. Tip number 2, ensure you are familiar with each part you mentioned. Sample answer, an athletic director formulates, develops, and enforces core athletic programs to satisfy athletic students' various needs. Additionally, he mentors and leads the coaches to remain on track and act accordingly to perform well in their daily activities. Number 7. How do you feel working in a position that exerts pressure on you both physically and mentally? The interviewer is testing your ability to endure pressure and demand while working. Tip number 1, show the interviewer that you can work in any condition. Tip number 2, explain how working under pressure helps to add more skills. Sample answer, I evaluated the duties of an athletic director and was aware of the pressure that may come with it before deciding to take up the position. Therefore, I am very comfortable with this position and can work under any pressure as long as it will benefit our organization. From the pressure, I acquire more skills to deal with the situation the next time. Number 8. What has been your best achievement so far? The interviewer wants to find out what you have managed to accomplish in your job. Tip number 1, illustrate all the achievements and success you have attained. Tip number 2, be straight to the point and confident. Sample answer, my soccer team qualified for the finals on an international level this year. These results came as a surprise, and all the team members were so happy and filled with more energy to push forward. We put in more effort in practicing and hence managed to win in the finals, which was more competitive and tough. Number 9. What is one thing you ensure every day, before the day's activities begin? The interviewer wants to know how you organize and manage time to make the day a success. Tip number 1, assure the interviewer that you manage time effectively. Tip number 2, highlight some of the daily activities you do to ensure success. Sample answer: I believe having a determined and organized team is the first step to success. That's why I always motivate the athletic department and staff members to work hard and be the best. Having a team to depend on makes the day more manageable and easy to accomplish all the tasks for the day. Number 10. Do you feel that you may be limited in this job since there is no obviously way to move forward? The interviewer wants to know if you are comfortable in the position of athletic director. Tip number 1, assure the employer that you are okay working as an athletic director. Tip number 2, demonstrate your passion for the job. Sample answer: I find the athletic director job interesting, with a lot of room for improvement, even if it isn't vertical. I don't see the limitation of my work since I can learn more skills from my position, gain more experience, and find other opportunities in line with my work. Number 11. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? The interviewer wants to see your thoughts about the future and gauge your ambitions. Tip number 1, showcase your ambitions and goals. Tip number 2, ensure you convince the employer you have bright goals. Sample answer: the success of young and growing athletes inspires me, and in 5 years, I will have acquired all the needed skills and be able to nurture all the young talents. I will build the name of our team and be recognized widely as the best and organized team. Number 12. What is the most difficult situation you faced and how did you handle? The employer wants to know a tough situation you encountered and how you handled the situation. Tip number 1, highlight a problem you encountered and how you managed to solve it. Tip number 2, be straight to the point and confident. Sample answer: on one occasion, we got an invitation for a match whom we had not prepared for, and the time for preparation was so limited. However, I managed to organize my team, and we worked and practiced with a tight deadline. We sacrificed and worked even during the wee hours of the night, and on the match day, we emerged winners. Number 13. What is your greatest strength? The interviewer wants to know your strong point in the athletic field. Tip number 1, talk of the strength you think will add value to the organization. Tip number 2, highlight the strength you have that are significant to the organization. Sample answer: I am flexible and accommodate other people's opinions. I can demonstrate authority with the limited resources and make the best out of it. I fully understand the potential impact of athletics on people's lives. That's why I always offer support to several coaches, athletes, and sports. Number 14. When delegating duties, describe how you showed confidence in the person's ability to do the job. The interviewer is testing your leadership skills and how you delegate duties. Tip number 1, explain a situation where you showed confidence in your colleagues. Tip number 2, highlight how you communicate with employees to make them understand their roles. Sample answer: I always train and inspire my team members to be hard-working and take any role when the need arises since this is what will promote our success. When assigning duties, I assign according to ability and the qualifications of a person. I keep checking on every duty I have assigned to ensure no inconvenience occurs. Number 15. Why do you want to leave your previous job? The employer wants to know the reason that is forcing you to leave your job. Tip number 1, mention the positive reasons that are making you look for another job. Tip number 2, be eloquent and confident. Sample answer: I am certain that I have learned and acquired enough skills and experience from my previous workplace, and I want to create room to learn new things from this organization. From the skills I will acquire, I believe I will make good use of them and use them to impact the organization positively. Number 16. What is the most difficult part of being an athletic director? The interviewer wants to know the challenges you have encountered in your job. Tip number 1, highlight the struggles you face and how you solve them. Tip number 2, assure the employer that you have good problem-solving skills. Sample answer: the greatest challenge I encounter now and then is that as time passes, great and experienced players grow old and leave the team since they don't have the energy to keep going. However, to avoid the inconveniences caused by this, I always train the junior players and ensure they have all the skills needed to succeed such that we aren't left in shock when the senior players leave. Number 17. Have you ever experienced coaching a team who have struggles to perform? How did you resolve the problem? The interviewer wants to know about the various methods you use when the team isn't performing as per your expectation. Tip number 1, demonstrate your skills in solving this challenge. Tip number 2, be straight to the point. Sample answer: I once encountered a team that was not self-driven and could wait until I am around for them to do the right thing. I realized the performance was dropping drastically, and this made me panic. Nonetheless, I summoned everyone and talked about the importance of determination. I took the initiative to train with the players daily, and within a week, they were used and would work on their own without being pushed. Number 18. How does your bench look like during games? The interviewer wants to know how you arrange your team during matches. Tip number 1, mention how you organize yourself during matches. Tip number 2, show confidence with the choice you prefer. Sample answer: I prefer my players, coaches, and cheering squad to have a place where they can sit or stand while the match is ongoing. This is to ensure everyone is comfortable, since they can stand to cheer or sit when they get tired but still watch what is happening in the arena. Number 19. How can you tell as an athlete director if you are doing an effective job, and what are your measures? The employer wants to know if you have enough experience to tell whether you are on the right track and performing well. Tip number 1, illustrate the method you use to check if you are performing well. Tip number 2, show that you put in all measures to succeed. Sample answer: I test the effectiveness of my job by checking how my team members are working. It's always a must for everyone to follow all the rules and regulations. There is cooperation from members, and in case of a problem, I solve it and motivate the members by awarding those who perform well. Number 20. How do you ensure the safety of the athletes? The employers want to know how you practice safety precaution methods. Tip number 1, relate to all the safety precautions that you put in place. Tip number 2, show that everyone follows all the precautions. Sample answer: I am aware that accidents are prone to happen anywhere. That's why I always purchase all the first aid kits needed and hire a qualified nurse to take care of any injury. I always ensure that we carry the kit and go with the nurse in every match we attend to be on the safe side. You won't be able to pass an interview without preparing adequately for it. An interview can either build or break you as a professional. Many people get discouraged when an interview goes wrong. However, by studying and practicing the above question and answers, you certainly won't be left out. Let us know if you have any question and comment below. If you enjoy this video, please like the video. And also subscribe to our channel.